Power is not something you earn, something you remember. You were never meant to beg for worth, to fight for love, or to shrink so others feel comfortable. That was never the plan. Before the world told you who to be, before the opinions, the pressure, the comparisons, you already knew. You knew how to take up space without apologizing. You knew how to laugh loudly, dream freely, and walk into a room like you belonged there. Because you did. But somewhere along the way something shifted. Maybe it was a teacher who said you were too much. A parent who asked you to be less loud. A friend who outshined you so you dimmed your light. Or maybe it was just the slow drip of everyday life, convincing you that your power had to be earned, that you had to play small to be loved. But the truth? Your power never left you. It's just been buried, under layers of fear, old beliefs, and borrowed expectations. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, your personality creates your personal reality. Which means the moment you shift your energy, your life begins to shift with you. And as Louise Hay reminds us, the love I give myself is the foundation for all power I create. This video is your invitation to rise. Not to become someone new, but to return to who you truly are. Because when you remember, you reclaim. And when you reclaim, you magnetize. Today we walk through 6 energetic shifts, real, powerful, accessible, that will align you with the queen you've always been. The journey begins now. You were not born to be small. You were born with a voice, with presence, with light. And even if the world has tried to convince you otherwise, deep down you remember. This remembering is not about the details of your past. It's about your essence, the version of you that existed before fear ever touched your spirit. When you were little, you didn't ask permission to be yourself. You laughed loud. You danced when no one else was dancing. You said what you felt. You trusted yourself. You were power in its purest form. But life, little by little, teaches us to doubt. Maybe it was a moment of rejection that left a mark. Maybe it was a silent comparison that whispered you weren't enough. And over time, your energy started to leak, scattered into the opinions of others, into roles you didn't choose, into fears you inherited, not created. As Lisa Nichols says, stop letting your reflection be defined by broken mirrors. The image you've carried of yourself may not even be yours. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that when we live from our past, we repeat the same emotional experiences again and again, because our bodies become addicted to the energy of survival. Fear, shame, doubt. Those are survival frequencies. They drain you, but you don't have to stay there. There's a moment when you realize, wait, I've been living inside someone else's story. And that moment is power. That moment is when the queen inside you begins to stir. Gabrielle Bernstein says, when you remember who you are, the universe responds. So how do you start remembering? You begin by closing your eyes and asking, where did I give myself away? You breathe in deeply. And with every inhale, you gather back the energy you gave to approval. With every exhale, you release the pressure to perform. You're calling yourself home. Lady Gaga once said she had to kill off the version of herself that the industry tried to create, just to become the real one she had always been. She didn't lose herself, she had just forgotten. And when she remembered, her power became unstoppable. Rihanna's rise didn't begin with success. It began with collapse. In the middle of public heartbreak and burnout, she disappeared from the spotlight. But in that silence she reclaimed. She returned not just as a singer but as a creator, a leader, a brand, because she no longer needed to fit a box. She became her own blueprint. Serena Williams, graceful, grounded, and fierce, was once told to be quieter, to be less. But she refused. And even when she took a break to become a mother, when people questioned her return, she came back rooted in her power. Not because she changed who she was, but because she stood even deeper in it. This chapter of your life is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning. Calling back the parts of you scattered across time, people, places, and pain, and saying, come home. I need you now. Louise Hay reminds us, I am willing to release the pattern. It is only a thought. And a thought can be changed. You are not your past. You are not your fear. You are not who they told you to be. You are energy. You are light. You are and always have been a queen. Every time you say, that's just how I am, you're reinforcing a version of yourself that may not be true anymore. There's a quiet kind of pain that comes from outgrowing the person you used to be, but still wearing her clothes, still thinking her thoughts, still holding her fears. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that the body is a record of the past. It memorizes your reactions, emotions, and identity. Even when your mind says, "I've moved on," your body might still be playing the old soundtrack. That's why letting go isn't always about logic. It's about energy. Imagine carrying a heavy bag, one filled with old labels, regrets, disappointments, and beliefs you inherited, not created. Now ask yourself, why am I still carrying this? Teal Swan says, every part of you that you disown becomes your jailer. So if you want to step forward, you have to make peace with the version of you that's been holding the map until now. Louise Hay reminds us gently, I am willing to let go. I release the need to be right. I release the past with love. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing not to let old stories write your future. So here's a moment to pause. Close your eyes and take a breath. Picture yourself setting down that heavy bag. Not because you're ignoring your pain, but because you've decided it no longer defines you. And in that space, something new opens. Adele is a beautiful example. She once said that writing 30 was like shedding layers of herself. Not just an album, but a release. A permission slip to stop performing for the version of her the world expected, and start living for the woman she'd become. Jennifer Lopez has lived more public reinventions than most. From pop star to businesswoman to actress to activist. Not because she was confused, but because she refused to be limited. She didn't collapse her energy to fit into one identity. She expanded it. That's the truth about energy. It doesn't lie. It doesn't care what words you say. It speaks in vibration. As Dr. Dispenza puts it, change your energy and you change your life. Tara Swart, a neuroscientist and former psychiatrist, explains that your brain literally wires itself based on the feelings you repeat. So if you want to change your future, you must send your brain a new emotional signal. Not just think differently, but feel differently. Energy is your first language. Before you say a word, the world already knows what you believe about yourself. Let go of needing to be right. Let go of needing to be consistent with who you used to be. Let go of thinking your past defines you. You're not here to repeat. You're here to rise. What if the world isn't ignoring you? It's just waiting for you to decide who you are? There's a moment on your journey when reclaiming isn't enough. You've remembered who you are. You've released what you're not. Now it's time to embody. Louise Hay said, I act as if I already have what I want. It's a way of ordering from the universe. This is the energy of magnetism. Not pushing. Not proving. Just being. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that every thought you think and every emotion you feel creates a signal. A frequency. And that frequency is what attracts. Not your words, not your wish list, but your state of being. So here's the real question. What are you broadcasting? Marianne Williamson once said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And that's exactly why many people never step fully into their energy. Because owning your power means taking radical responsibility for how you show up. There's no more hiding. No more waiting to feel ready. No more hoping someone else sees you first. You lead not because you force, but because your energy is clear. Zendaya walks into a room and shifts the atmosphere, not with volume but with presence. There's a calm, grounded power in the way she moves, speaks, and simply exists. She's not pretending. She's just aligned. Michelle Yeoh, at over 60, didn't just win an Oscar. She claimed a crown of excellence built over decades. She stood on that stage as if she had always belonged there, and she had. Because energy never ages. It accumulates. Angela Bassett doesn't need to say much. Her posture, her eyes, her silence. They carry decades of wisdom, grace, and fire. She doesn't enter rooms. She commands them. Because a queen doesn't demand respect. She embodies it. Esther Hicks teaches, the universe responds not to what you say but to how you feel about what you say. That's the core of vibrational identity. So how do you reconnect with your highest frequency? You close your eyes and visualize. A golden light inside your chest. Strong, calm, steady. With each breath it expands. Not blinding, but undeniable. That's your field. That's your signature. That's your power. You walk into the world not to be chosen, but to choose. You don't need to shout. You don't need to hustle. Your energy speaks louder than anything else. Louise Hay said it best, I do not fix problems. I fix my thinking. Then problems fix themselves. Leadership isn't about followers. It's about frequency. And yours is royal. You've just walked a journey through 6 energetic shifts. Not steps to become someone else, but reminders of who you've always been. You remembered the girl before the world told her to shrink. You called back your power from the places you lost yourself. You let go of identities that never really fit. You spoke the language of energy, bold, clean, magnetic. You stood tall not to impress but to align. And you reconnected with the version of you that doesn't need approval to shine. This is Queen Energy. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that the future you desire already exists. In the quantum field, in frequency. And when you match that frequency, the world bends in your direction. Louise Hay reminds us that everything begins with the way we speak to ourselves. I am in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need to be louder, faster, or more perfect. You only need to choose, every day, to live from your truth. Because queens don't chase. They attract. They don't wait. They decide. They don't just manifest wealth or love or success. They embody the energy that makes all of it inevitable. So take a breath. Feel your energy settling in. This is who you are now. This is who you've always been. If this message touched you, let your voice echo back. Leave a comment, share your energy, and subscribe to help this community grow. Your power doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins right now. Wow. You've tapped into the law of attraction. Feel that positive energy? This video found you for a reason. Let's amplify it together. Subscribe to manifest more life-changing content. Like to send positivity back to the universe. Share with someone you care about. You'll both benefit. Comment below with your thoughts or questions. Your engagement grows our community. Next video, I'll reveal a secret to manifest desires faster. Don't miss it. Join our vibrant community of manifestors. Let's co-create an incredible reality together. Your journey to unlimited abundance starts now. I believe in you.